My final question is always some variation of, if you could go back toward the start of your career, middle of your career, wherever it would have been useful to you, and give yourself some advice that would have made a difference for you and might make a difference for everyone watching or listening to us right now, what would you go back and tell yourself?
I mean, if I look back on the biggest struggles that I had in my career, it was usually related to the rejections and being really down on yourself when you get all of those rejections and doubting yourself and being afraid to leave an agent, or when you do part ways with an agent, feeling like this is it, it's over, it's never going to happen for me, like I'm damaged goods, all of that. So if I had known in the beginning that eventually, after 7 years and three agents, and I think the total is 70 some rejections from editors, the Proof of Lies would ultimately be published. It would be nominated for a Thriller Award. It would be optioned for film. I don't know if it would have saved me a lot of tears and a lot of stress. I don't know if I would have been able to even believe that was possible at the time. But it wouldn't have happened if I had given up, that's for sure. So there were many moments in my career where I could have easily given up, whether it had been when my first agent left the business and I would have been too scared to go out and find another one. Would it have been after a million rejections? Like I said, I had two books that failed to sell in the very beginning of my career. I could have easily given up after that and kept beating a dead horse. And instead I kept writing another book and writing another book. And like I said, Proof of Lies, when I say I wrote it for 7 years, I rewrote it. I started over for 7 years. So I was not beating a dead horse. It's a drastically different book. I ended up learning from that rejection and being able to accept constructive feedback in a way that I may not have been able to in the beginning of my career. But you have to keep going. You have to keep working on your craft. You have to believe in yourself when maybe even your spouse and your mom thinks you're crazy. If you think you've got something, keep going at it, but don't get stubborn about it. Like in terms of not listening to the feedback. I got a lot of feedback on Proof of Lies. It was my first thriller, and they said it sounded like a wild goose chase because I didn't know how to plot a novel. My first series I wrote by the seat of my pants. And basically at the end of 7 years, I realized I had to plot a thriller. I had to plot a horror novel. I needed an outline because your character can't find clues if you don't know what the bad guy is doing and what clues are going to be left. So if I had listened to that feedback earlier on in my career, I probably would have saved myself a lot of pain, a lot of tears. But yeah, and at the end of the day, you know what I did when I parted ways with my third agent? My husband's gift to me for my birthday was a punching bag. And I went downstairs during the pandemic and I was like kickboxing and punching it out, and it works. So sometimes you need yoga and sometimes you need a punching bag, and do what you got to do, but keep going at it, because if I had given up, I wouldn't be here.